Hi, my name is Paulo Delgadillo, and this is the project plan for the production part approval process of high-port bevel gears made for XYZ Motor Company. In the plan, we will go over our project charter that will encapsulate everything from the executive summary, project purpose, up to the project authorization and approvals. And we will also be looking at cost-benefit analysis of the project, milestones, work breakdown structures, risk registers, network diagrams, project budgeting, scheduling of the project, and, and we will conclude with reviewing the project communication matrix. Our customer, XYZ Motor Company, has expressed a need for a new high-port bevel gear product, also known as an automotive gear set. The component must be compatible with its new line of vehicles and compliant to the automotive production part approval process. Furthermore, a level 3 PPAP is required. This new high-port gear set will be manufactured by us, PD Industries, and the automotive PPAP process will be followed to demonstrate that the design and process can meet the manufacturability and quality requirements of the part supplied to XYZ. Additionally, the project will improve our system of obtaining and tracking customer approvals in the future. Some of the identified business objectives were based on the strategic plan of all the PPAP applicable elements. These are the design records, authorized engineering change documents, engineering approval, DFMEA or design, failure mode and effect analysis, process flow diagram, PFMEA or process failure mode and effect analysis, the control plan, measurement system analysis, dimensional results, records of material, initial sample inspection reports, initial process studies, qualified lab documentation, appearance approval reports, sample production parts, master sample, checking aids, customer specific requirements, and finally, part submission warrant or PSW. The requirements will be distinguished and set as defined by the customer. A level 3 PPAP. A level 3 PPAP is a PSW submission with product samples and complete supporting documentation and data. The deliverables will be based on the PPAP elements with the completion of all the APQP or Advanced Product Quality Planning documentation and manufacturing/design of the PPAP master samples up until XYZ's approval of our PPAP submission. Estimated schedule we will be reviewing later in this presentation, but we have set the start of the project August 10th and concluding October 28th. The timeline has included the obtaining of the drawings, approval of the changes, capital approval, supplier approval, timing for documentation gathering and data, manufacturing of the parts, approval of our suppliers, and approval with the customer. We will also be reviewing the estimated budgeting. The budgeting accounted raw material or forging samples, gauging for all of our operations, blanking, cutting, heat treatment, hard turn, lapping, testing, etc. Capital for initial process studies and testing, assembly line trials, etc. Human resource requirements. This project has accounted all the key individuals, such as our project manager, Curtis Lichty, our process engineer, Daniel Johns, our quality engineer, me, Paulo Delgadillo, our gear developer, Matt Heil, James Pulley, our supplier quality engineer, and Shannon Andrews, quality manager for ABC Forging, our supplier. We've also analyzed the risks that we will be also covering later in this presentation. In our completion criteria, as I stated before, is unless otherwise specified by XYZ Motor Company that the default submission for this PPAP will be a level 3. Some of the alternatives analyzed for this project was the outsource of our PPAP documentation and submission. We analyzed the cons and pros on that. And we also listed all the stakeholders. The stakeholders for this project are Mr. Paul Anderjack from XYZ Motor Company. He is the Vice President of Light Vehicle North America. Ted Nantes, Supplier Buyer North America, ABC Forging Corporation. Pat Delmonico, Chairman, President, and Chief Executive Officer of PD Industries. To the right side of the slide, you can see Mr. Curtis Lichty, our project manager, and quality engineer Paulo Delgadillo, who assisted with the completion of this project plan, and the project authorization approval received on August 8th of this year, signed by Mr. Paul Anderjack. Cost of benefit analysis. The team analyzed the cost of PPAPing a level 3 submission versus outsourcing PPAP support to a third party. For this analysis, a year's worth was accounted for to not only account this project, but ongoing PPAP submissions with our customer XYZ. For cost in-house using our salary quality department employees, the first month cost would equal $4,160 with a fixed ongoing monthly cost of $4,160, totaling annual cost of $49,920. Salary employees are also paid benefits, and there's payroll taxes. Benefits $1,800, fixed monthly ongoing at $1,800, total $21,600. Payroll taxes were $340, which totals $4,080. Total costs on annual costs totaled $75,600. The cost to outsource PPAP support was $35 an hour, which equals your first month's cost of $5,600, ongoing monthly cost of $5,600, as well. Annual cost of $67,200. Software is included with this service, is additional for this service, excuse me, and that is $1,200 with an annual cost of $14,400. Total cost to outsource PPAP support for a year is $81,600. That is a $6,000 difference compared to the cost of in-house PPAP support. The milestones for this project were based on the PPAP elements. They were set in a sequential order, everything from obtaining the design records to submitting the PSW. The team identified which ones were mandatory and which ones were optional. The optional milestones or not required by the customer were the DFMEA, AAR, master sample, and check-in aids. Work breakdown structure. Again, this was set by our PPAP elements. However, because of the requirements for each subcomponent that makes up a gear set, our project breakdown structure broke down according to the requirements for each individual subcomponent. Most of our identified risks are currently open, but we have a mitigation plan for each. For example, item or risk number 5, final acceptance delays due to unapproved PPAP. Our project manager has scheduled bi-weekly meetings with multiple teams and developed an open issue status report to capture all projects constrained. These constraints have been identified and a champion has been assigned with individual target dates for the completion of each item. By completing the network diagram, it is clear to the team that the critical path lies within our process to complete the testing, gather all the testing data, and compile all the PPAP documentation. The project budget is $100,000. This includes design and product validation and manufacturing costs. The expenses taken into account were on a rate per hour basis. Design records for gear set, ring gear, and pinion equal $360. The compilation and review of APQP documentation was $480. Supplier PPAP submission review, $1,080. Our biggest expense would be testing measurement studies, gauge R&Rs, dimensional results, capability studies, metallurgical reports would equal $72,000. Manufacturing of 300 pieces, which is our minimum PPAP quantity for ring gear, would be $2,104. Pinion, again 300 pieces, $2,704. And finally, gear set 300 pieces, $960, putting our total expense at $79,688. The chosen graphical schedule for this project was a Gantt chart, where you can see our project initiated on 8/10. Authorized engineering change documents were completed by our purchasing group on 8/13. Our engineering completed also their review on 8/13. Our customer is in the process of reviewing these documents. Our core team is in the process of completing the DFMEA, and you can also see the timeline for the rest of the elements. Our communication matrix has listed a kickoff meeting to introduce the project, review objectives and goals. Engineering change reviews. We will review the design records and design problems and solutions. This will be using Microsoft Teams or conference call medium. Reviewing the design of the DFMEA. We will do this on site, face to face, on a weekly basis with our engineering and quality group. Supplier PPAP review. This will serve to review supplier submission package via conference call. We will do this weekly. Audience will be quality and supplier, led by our supplier quality engineer. PPAP sample manufacturing will help us review the manufacturing progress of PPAP samples on site, face to face, weekly. A larger audience will be here. Project manager, scheduling, buyer, quality, engineering, and operations. And PPAP submission status, where we will update leadership on project status. Thank you for your attention. Have a great day.